Welcome, Scorpio, to your mid-January tarot reading. I hope y'all are doing fantastic. I'm Veronica. This is Veronica's Dreams Tarot. Welcome to all of anyone that's new, and all the ones that are coming back for more. Appreciate all of you. I really do. And let's get started. I'm going to use the Wizard Tarot for this mid-January reading. These are a little shorter than the monthly readings, although they'll just go on as long as the information keeps coming up, right? Yeah, just as a reminder, please hit that thumbs up button. It does help connect, but it also does help the channel, so I really do appreciate that. And give me a comment. Tell me where you're watching from. Things are falling out like crazy. Or just a thumbs up or a hi. It does help us to connect. And let's get started. Whoa. I'm just kind of messing up here, Scorpio. What's going on? Okay, current situation. Emperor, present influence. Five of Swords. Okay, what you don't see is the Knight of Cups. Unexpected is Six of Swords. What to look for is the King of Cups. So you've got the Knight of Cups and the King of Cups. That's interesting. Challenge. King of Wands. Strength. Magician. Where does this lead? King of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. Five of Cups. And Ten of Wands. I never stop on like fives or heart cards, but I won't go out more than four because then it just, things change. It's keeping in the more current energy. Bottom of the deck is the Hierophant. So there is something interesting with the Hierophant being at the bottom of the deck and the Emperor being in the current situation. They're similar in some ways, because I do feel like they are both leaders. They're different types of leaders. This would be a more spiritual leader. This would be a more um, like a more abrupt leader. I mean, I like the Emperor energy because they are strong. They just do whatever. Like, this is what I need. This is what I want. They're black and white. They go after it. But there is a feeling like, is this something that you are taking control of, or is this somebody else around you? You have the Five of Swords in your present influence. Now, the Five of Swords, to me, isn't always a negative card. It's more of a decision type of card where you're in a situation where there feels like there's something not quite right going on around you, and you're not quite sure, do I fight this or do I just walk away from this altogether? But I feel like where I do feel like it's you in this Emperor position is you go into control. Like, I'm going to control this. You know what? I don't normally do this, but I'm going to use the Ghost Tarot to clarify. So the first thing, let's look at the Five of Swords. Scorpio, let's see what's going on here. Also, as another reminder, I do personal readings. Link to my emails below. Just email in the subject personal readings. I'll let you know my options till I get my website set up. Okay, so Five of Swords. Lovers. King of Swords. So that's the only king that you didn't have hanging out here with the Five of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Oh boy, Scorpio. I mean, this is some kind of partnership that you're unsure about. And it could be with an air sign. So the air signs Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Interesting with the Lovers. I feel like it is. It could be a partnership or relationship that you're really kind of questioning right now. And you're questioning the genuineness of it. I think the King of Swords is showing there too, not just as a sign, but as someone who's being super direct. I don't think that's you. The Scorpios are not necessarily, I'm a Scorpio moon. We're not necessarily, um, well, we can be. I've got, I got all kinds of stuff going on in my chart. So let's look at the Emperor. Let's look at this. So the Emperor, I think it's you. I think you're saying that you're going to take control of the situation. You don't feel like something's happening that's right. With that Five of Swords, it just doesn't feel right. Either someone's hiding something from you, or and you got the Magician and the Strength. So I think that that's clarity there too. I'll explain. Sometimes I see the Magician as hiding something because they have the sleight of hand, the Magician, and sometimes they can like trick you. Now it often also shows up as having all the tools and being in your magic and all of that, but there's also the other side to that. And it just depends on the other cards. And when I see it come up with Seven of Swords, Five of Swords, I start kind of guessing, you know, thinking that it might have to do with that. But let's look at the Emperor. We've got the Five of Pentacles and the Wheel. Yeah, okay, so the Five of Pentacles, this is you deciding to take a different route. You're not going to stay and fight this fight. This is my thought with you in the current situation. The Five of Pentacles is like, things haven't worked out before when I've done things the same way. So now I'm going to take a different route on this. And the Wheel is you heading in the right direction. This is you taking control because you want to take you're taking a different route because you want changes. You want things to get better. So you're looking, you may stay in this situation, but you're definitely looking at it differently. You're definitely going to be handling it differently. What you don't see is the Knight of Cups. There is someone that you probably don't know about, or maybe you do, probably not. And they are looking at you, coming at you, maybe even giving you an offer here soon. They're definitely in the background. They're definitely not showing up as someone in sight, like in your sight, or, you know, even a little bit. So let me take a look further at the Knight of Cups. Okay, that's the Four of Wands with the Ten of Cups. Yeah, there's someone that's celebrating you, that's thinking, oh boy, I really want that. They're either watching you, well, they're celebrating the Four of Wands with the Ten of Cups. So there is something happening that you're unaware of. Now, if it's this relationship here, which it could be, they're looking at doing things differently too. They don't want to lose this. And then part of me is like, but it could be someone different that's kind of in the background and really watching you with that Four of Wands, celebrating what you're doing. They could be celebrating you in many different ways. They could be, you know, when I say celebrating, they're like, oh wow, you know, look at that picture on, you know, on the social media, or look what they're doing, or look at them go at work or something. But they're watching. Definitely someone's watching you. So we have the Six of Swords in the unexpected. You decide to move on. Like the Six of Swords is about, I'm done with this fight. I'm done with this Five of Swords. Time to move to the Six of Swords. It actually makes perfect sense, right? So tell me more about the Six of Swords. There's that King of Wands and that Two of Wands. You're like headed for, you may be looking at someone else here. You might be thinking that the grass is greener on another side, and that's what you're planning. The Two of Wands is making arrangements to head towards this person. Now, for some of you, this is really about relationships. Others, this could be a way of doing things. The King of Wands, very much a lot of energy. However, it also shows up in the challenge. So you may be heading towards that, but it's not as easy as you may think because it's showing up in your challenge. The Two of Wands is the planning, is the mapping out what direction to go with that Six of Swords. You want something more, like the control. You want something more passion involved here. So what to look for is the King of Cups. Now, I don't know for sure, but it feels like it might be have to do with that Knight of Cups is something to keep an eye on. Now, it's different energy. I mean, and I don't always well, to me, see, the Knight of Cups and Knight of Wands are two different things. Like the Knight of Cups is bringing in a gift, is offering you something, where there's the Knight of Cups again. Like shows up, Ace of Cups. There is someone here. Who is this King of Cups? Can you give us a clue on this person? This might not resonate with everybody, but let's see if we can get more information. Three of Wands. Nine of Cups, man. Okay, so they had the Four of Wands with what was it? Um, they're celebrating you. Four of Wands with, oh, I can't remember. But now I've got the Three of Wands with the Nine of Cups. Oh, the wheel. No, it wasn't the wheel. Anyway, okay, I'm losing myself here. The Three of Wands with the Nine of Cups, though. So this is definitely, comes right before that celebration. So it's like seeing everything you've done, and then once you realize that your ships are coming in, then you can celebrate that. The Nine of Cups is the dream. There is something here with this Nine of Cups I feel like is different than a lot of Nine of Cups. He's actually offering her something, which could be an offer in marriage, an offer in partnership. And then the Ten of Cups is here. That Ace of Cups showed up. The flipping, oh, that was the Ten of Cups and the Four of Wands. They're all showing up again. So it is very much that person. And so you might want to keep an eye out for someone that mentions something to you like, boy, you looked really good on your, social media, or boy, I noticed that award you got at work, or hey, you did really good on that project. Look out for that person. Because that person is who you should be looking for, but you're looking at the King of Wands. Now, keep in mind, these are not gender specific. However, since the kings are all showing up, I just think that's the other side, the other person. And they're all showing up the same as kings. So it's not necessarily masculine or a male energy. It could be female, but they're all showing up the same. So this is in your challenge. Yes, this is going to be a challenge. I feel like you could be either looking to have passion in your life or having more of that robust energy, but it also could be somebody, and they're just going to be that challenge. I almost get the feeling, yep, Page of Cups, yep, Ten of Pentacles. This is someone you so you got things going on here. So you're headed in one direction and someone else is looking at you that's a little bit different. But I feel like the challenge is having a relationship with this King of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles. You don't feel like there may be a stability issue here, that they may be really exciting and really passionate, but that's about what they got. Like they're exciting, they're passionate, they're driven, but maybe they aren't stable with the Ten of Pentacles, and they're not looking at your offer. And that's a challenge. So what do you want? You've got the Magician in your Strength. Here's what I think the Magician in your Strength is saying, Scorpio, is keep your eyes open, because you know that there was issues with that Five of Swords in your present influence. So it's saying like you have the ability to track that. Let's see, like understand when someone's not being completely honest. Scorpios are very, very, very intuitive. Tell me more about this Magician. You also hide things really well. Tell me more about that Magician. Could be you. Tell me more about it. There's that Five of Wands again, and the Five of Swords. Yeah, I think that's saying that you don't have to worry. Okay, it's in the Strength, because I feel like this is gone. There's no more fight here with this Five of Swords. You understand. You've already made that decision, the Six of Swords, to move on from this situation. Now, I do feel it's asking you to look at that, because you may have a little bit of a conflict about whether you should have done that or not. So just keep that in mind as you're moving forward. So where does this all lead? It leads to the King of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, Five of Cups, and then the Ten of Wands. So there is going to be a little bit of a disappointment here, but let's look at what this is, the King of Pentacles, because this could even be something different. You've had all of the kings show up one way or another. So let's see what this King of Pentacles is. What is the King of Pentacles, please, for our Scorpios? High Priestess. Strength. I think this is you looking for that stability. The High Priestess is your knowing, your intuition, which I said you all have good intuition. But then we have the Strength card. It's hanging tough to make sure that this is going to be a stable situation. I think that you're looking as such as it will be. But this also, I feel like the page comes next, and it's the Page of Pentacles. And the Page of Pentacles is a hard worker. They focus on whatever it is they're trying to learn, and they focus really hard on that. Tell me more about this Page of Pentacles. Tell me more about this. Yeah, Six of Pentacles, Ten of Wands, and we got the Ten of Wands over here at the end. There may be, you're really, I think what the struggle is, what the burden is with that Ten of Wands is you trying to find that balance here. And that's what you're working on, and it's really hard because there is a calling for you two different ways. You've got the King of Cups and the King of Wands. The King of Wands is more of a challenge. The King of Cups kind of just comes in and offers, and then the King of Cups is like who you want, and then you're going, okay, well, I don't know. I feel like what is happening here, for some of you, this is very true and no judgy here. You may be trying them both on for size, and I don't mean that in a in any kind of way like that, but what I'm saying is, like, okay, you're trying to juggle these two. Again, this could be female, it could be male. You're trying to juggle them, and it's becoming quite the burden. And that's what leads to your Five of Cups. Because when you start doing that, now, this isn't everybody. For some of you, this is literally trying to figure out, you want to find someone there's an equal give and take, and that's also a burden as well. But for some of you, I've got a very specific message, what you're doing. So, but the Five of Cups, when you're working really hard at something or trying to make something happen that wasn't meant to be, you could get disappointed. So there is going to be a point here where you feel like you're losing some of those cups, some of those options, but you still have two cups standing. So what happened with those three cups? Which is your key to moving forward, right? I still have two cups full, but I don't want to go through this again. So what's the difference? Tell me more about this Five of Cups. Oh, we got the Justice and the Six of Cups. Yeah, they're I mean, it feels like maybe you're realizing that this feels like something like the past, and you're going, I don't want this. I think it's you deciding you don't want this. You're going to cut it free. You're going to cut it off. But I still think you're disappointed because I feel like that it just didn't go the way you think. Again, you've got the King of Wands in mind. Again, leave that open. You're looking at a wand person, but the king, the cup person's right there. Now the cup is more of a easygoing person. The wand is freaking full of, fire and energy. Let's look at the Ten of Wands. So it ends with the Ten of Wands. You're going to have interesting. I really like to hear how this turns out for y'all, because this is a very interesting reading. Ten of Wands is the final here. King of Cups with the Eight of Wands. So, and with the King of Pentacles here. So the King of Pentacles and the King of Cups might be two of the same people. I think that the Ten of Wands is like the end, but it feels like a burden, but you're at the end of the suit. So you are starting over, and that leads to the King of Cups. So I feel like you're going to come back around to, this other person. And for some of you, this also could very easily be some kind of job offer, okay? So, or job situation. So really kind of read it as it resonates to you. But I do feel like overall with that that Eight of Wands, that's where you're headed. Like that's an energy of moving towards something. The Ten of Wands is I'm just tired of all this crap. The burden's too much. You don't want to be balancing it out. Also, I think with the Magician and your strength, you're going to realize exactly what you how to handle it moving forward. What is the advice for our Scorpio, please? The Justice. I mean, I feel like it's saying be fair. Just be fair. Be fair to yourself, be fair to others. That's all. Just be fair. I don't think there's anything more to it. I really do. I feel like it's be fair. But it's be fair to yourself as well as others, not just yourself and not just others. It's like you had that Six of Pentacles come up where there's that give and take, so you want that to be the ultimate, because this is also about balance. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Quite a wild ride. Take care. Have a beautiful day.